Hello and welcome to the channel, everybody. In this video I have a new product to play with. Let's check it out. So the simrigs.com Titan EVO pedals. So with these SR Titan EVO pedals, you can get this in two different versions currently. You can get it with the pedals on their own, which is this box here. You've got some simrigs.com stickers here. You've got 3 of these with three on each. I don't know why I need that many, but sure. You have a larger brake pedal and the actual pedals, which I'll go into detail a little bit more in a sec. So you can buy this box on its own for an additional $100 or $200, depending where you buy it from. But I think simrigs.com are currently selling it for $100 extra. I know there was a third party doing $200 extra. You can get this pedal plate as well, and it comes with all this stuff. Again, I'll go into this in a second. I just mainly wanted to show you the difference. You can get it in 2 versions, whether you need the pedal plate or not. But let's go into that a little bit later. You guys probably just want to check out the pedals. So a little bit of backstory quickly. Simrigs.com is not sponsoring this video in any way. In fact, I paid just like a normal customer like you guys, and at the time I bought all this stuff, I did not tell them at all that I was using it for purposes of review. In saying that, later on after I bought them, I did talk to Derek at simrigs.com, and I did let him know that I was going to do a review on it. And before I received them, he did say to me that there's still a little bit of work to go on with them at the time of filming. If you're watching this a year from now, maybe that's been fixed. He's said things like, for example, they don't come with instructions. So you've got all this here. You've got this back here, replace for brake. That's all it says on it. You've got this bag with a USB cable, blue. You have some tools, some Allen keys, and it's got the good end to it as well, by the way. We have this little spanner here, 2-ended spanner. Ta-da! So the brake pedal from factory has a thin one on there. You can switch that to be a bit larger. I'm going to say I'll probably just put this on straight away. I'm not going to use this. Now, according to the website, this is capable of up to 180 kilos. So apparently, in terms of the amount of kilos on the brake pedal, these should be able to handle a bit more strength if you like that. Some people only want 60 kilos or so. But for me, I've got 90 kilos in my CSL Elites, and that doesn't quite feel enough for me personally. I want it a little bit more. I'm a bit of a stomper, which is why I thought these might be good. Now, unlike, I think it was the Titans before this, they had a separate control box that you plug everything into. With the Titan EVOs, it's got the control box built into the brake here, just there. And so you plug in the clutch and the accelerator into here, and then this USB cable goes in there as well. So it's all a bit of a all-in-one, which all revolves around this brake pedal. I don't know much about these pedals. When I bought them, there's literally no review on these online. I could not find anything. I didn't know anyone with them. Like, these are new. I'm the first person that's kind of really got to these, at least as far as I can tell online. Now, the other issue I had to quickly message Derek from simrigs.com on this, is there's a wire here. If you buy these and you see this wire dangling and you think, oh, I think that's meant to be connected to something. That's what I thought too. But apparently this is for interference. If you're getting interference with the pedals, then you can mount this to an earth somewhere. But he said that's probably only 5% of the time. You shouldn't need this. Let's go on to accelerator pedal. You've got your simrigs.com down there. Quite a long accelerator pedal. And you know, this is, I don't know if you can see that on camera when I press this. See how it's kind of jagged? It's not fluent, and that's the same kind of issue I was getting with the brake there. But the difference is the brake has more tension on it, so you don't get it as much. But it's kind of jagged with the way you... But yeah, that's my first initial impression with that. Now you can adjust the angle and everything of these. You can adjust where this piston kind of sits here, up or down, changing how it kind of feels on the accelerator as you press it down. And then you can change the angle as well by adjusting that into the different holes there. Let's go to the clutch. Let's see if this has the same. Probably not as bad. This feels a bit stiffer though, which is like the brake pedal. Because the brake pedal's stiffer, you don't notice it as much. Whoop, what's going on here? Interesting. But I know the SimMagic pedals actually have something similar, not the same, like it's totally different in its design, but the SimMagic have a piece where it kind of makes it jolt out of the first little position. And it looks like this is similar, where you've got a bit of play there initially, and then bang, you've got the clutch down, you're at the start line, just release the clutch a little bit, and that's getting off the line, and then you've got the last little bit to play with after you get off the line. Some people might not like that. I'll try it out, I'll see. For me, the brake definitely needs to be a bigger pedal. The clutch, I mean, that's probably fine. I don't think you need a larger pedal for the clutch. In a way, I personally like to have my pedal way off to the side, and my clutch pedal way off. I barely use it, so that's actually a good thing. I normally have my brake quite closer to the clutch, and if this had a fatter pedal on it, then I wouldn't be able to get as close, I guess. So I don't mind that being skinny. I'm a sock sim racer, so I just like sliding on the accelerator normally a little bit as I press it down. So I don't know how that'll feel on my socks and through my feet and everything. Yeah, stay tuned for that. Onto the pedal plate. Let's look at the pedal plate first, then we'll worry about what's in these bags. Just so you know, simrigs.com, Australian company. These pedals are made in China. Just saying. Okay, the pedal plate. This pedal plate seems to be made out of, is it 20 by 20 or 30 by 30 maybe? Aluminium profile. Let me check that. Yeah, so this is 40 by 40. I just have spare 40 by 40 lying around. So that to me looks like that's probably 30 by 30. Aluminium profile. I could measure it, but I don't have a measuring device. This is my measuring device. Yes. So you mount your pedals into these slots here. What's that? That's the clutch. And that just gets mounted on there like that. You have screws and that here. Let's go through this bag actually. So these are what's gonna screw in there and screw that down. You are provided with these 30 by 30 end caps. These 30 by 30 end caps will just go in there. I'm not going to do this just yet, but yeah, they just press in. You're also provided with these little plasticky rubber spacer things. These are meant for the heel part of the pedal plate here. So if you wanted to, and let's say we have that bolted in there, and maybe you want your foot to be a bit higher up, so you can adjust this plate and you can unscrew these bolts here and then put these underneath to space the pedal plate up so your foot sits kind of where you want it to be on the pedals. I assume you're provided with 8 of these. Let's get 1, 2, 8. So yeah, if you really want to space it up, you can double space it and get an extra, I'd say 20 mil. If I put the accelerator there and then those little spaces there, you can see that you probably don't actually want it any higher than that anyway. That's about similar to where the bottom of that accelerator starts. So that's about right. You do get these with it, 4 of these. So you can mount that to that. Also in here, it does come with some leaf nuts. They look to be M8, which is mostly what you use in a 80/40, 120/40, 40 series profile rig. It does also come with these, which is what I assume is meant to go in here. But it has quite a few different solutions in here. It has some of the bigger screws and all that. Alright, so here are the pedals fully installed into my rig. The way I installed it was just putting that here because the space just wasn't quite enough here, and I wanted to space this on this side as much as possible this way, simply because of the clutch. I wanted it a bit out the way, and then these are kind of situated a little bit more in the middle, despite the fact this base plate's actually a little to the side. Obviously, if you do have a pedal plate like this and you have another bar going through here, you can just mount these straight to that. But having this, I guess you could say, heel plate does help out a little bit there. It looks a little bit nicer in my opinion. Again, like I was saying with the spacing issue, you're actually meant to put these onto this bar here, but because I wanted more space and have the clutch more to the side and out of the way, I mounted both the accelerator and the clutch on this outer channel here. Like it's solid. I don't think that's moving anywhere. I couldn't be bothered pulling these out, so I just left them there. Screwed them in tight, obviously, so it's not going to rattle. It's just a lazy trade of mine. But if I do want to move these later on, then I don't have to undo this whole thing to try and get those out as well. Onto the brake pedal now. I am using the optional little spring that this comes with instead of the bigger spring that it comes with, and also I don't know if I can get that to focus by going too far in, but I'm using the smaller little rubber / plastic piece in there as well, with the smaller spring, to try and lessen some of the play of that. I've wound that down as much as I can actually to try and get rid of some of that play that's in there. This is a pretty light spring in my opinion, so I wanted to try and get rid of some of that play by putting that all the way down. I actually can't turn that down anymore. That's literally as far as it goes down on this pin till the thread stops at the moment. At this point in time, all this other stuff I've kept pretty much what it is out of the box. This brake pedal face, as I said, I changed that over to the larger one. I will note on that, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little 7mm here and a little Allen key on the other side. And while it does come with tools at the moment, it actually doesn't come with the tools required to do this and swap the brake pedal face over. So make sure you have a 7mm and a small Allen key for the front of this to change that plate over. Especially with the bigger pedal plate here, I find my toe does hit this a little bit sometimes. So ideally I'd actually like to be able to space this pedal and offset this pedal face on the clutch, but at the moment you can't do that. I would like to see an offset face on there to be able to move that to the side a bit, especially for the left foot breakers like me. Alright, now we're on the computer, and now we gotta, well, we don't have to, but you can go to simrigs.com, and on the site here it shows calibration via in-game calibration tool or via dive view software by Leo Bodner. So you can go to leobodner.com and search for the dive view software, which I'll show you right now. And you can just use the in-game calibration tool. I'm not going to get into dive view too much with you. Anyway, so here we are. You can see this is the clutch. I'm told it is pretty normal to have about that range in it. Same with the accelerator, and you just calibrate it to be within that range. For the brake, we're starting at around 4-5%, and as much as I'd probably want to go with these is about the 85-ish mark. It can go over that, probably not with these particular elastomers in it though, which is one thing I will actually mention to you straight away. When it was on the table, it actually kind of felt pretty hard. Now, at least the elastomer part anyway, the spring felt soft, but when you actually get it on the rig and you're using your foot, it actually feels kind of soft, like too soft for me, I think. I'm personally coming from CSL Elite load cells. With the CSL Elite load cells, you get the option of the 65 Shore elastomers, the 85 and the 95. Pretty much in that I was running pretty much the strongest you could get, which is barely any pedal movement at all. At absolute maximum, at pretty full tilt, you might have gotten a centimetre maybe but that's about it. So to go to this and have this much travel, it's probably a bit much for me personally. But there's currently no way of adjusting that, especially like you can see here, if you look, I'm not putting a lot of force, right? And that's going from about 4-ish% to about 23 with not a lot of force. And then to go over that, you have to start using a bit more force. And then it cuts out at about 55-ish% with that amount of force. And then you got to start using a bit more. It's like it has 3 stages of force that you need to use this pedal with, which is a bit weird for me, I think. It doesn't feel as linear as I'm used to with the CSL Elite load cells. With the CSL, pretty much the harder you press, the closer it goes to 100%. But that's not necessarily the case with this. It feels kind of weird. Just looking at this and what's on your screen there, if you look at how much my pedal's moving in its travel compared to what it's actually showing in the dive view software, not a lot of force is needed at all through there. A reasonable amount through there, and then considerably more through there. So it makes me a little bit concerned with, I'm not 100% sure how much brake pedal pressure to use. Obviously, it's something you got to get used to. I find the way that this pedal works is a bit weird for me. I'm not used to that. But I would say I'm more used to about where this is 55-ish% up to like 80, 90. That's what I'm used to. Like quite linear. How much you press is how much it goes up after that. So yeah, that's just a quick observation there. Obviously the throttle is fine. That's quite linear, and same with the clutch. Another thing I will mention, I don't know if this mic right beside me here can pick up what's happening at the pedals. Sometimes it does it, sometimes. There's a small amount of noise when the clutch compresses, which is kind of normal. But sometimes there's a bit of squeaking going on. Oh yeah, just then. I can't hear it through my headphones if I've got my headphones on, but oh yeah, there you are. It can be inconsistently squeaky. You get it a little bit with the throttle, but not as much. I would say what it's doing right now is pretty much normal noise. There's a very small amount of noise as it goes up and down, and that's fine. That's normal. But there is some weird squeaks going on with the clutch, and occasionally with the accelerator as well. I'm finding, which is kind of weird, especially for a new pedal set. I think with that squeaking, I could probably fix that. I could probably pull things apart. I could grease some stuff up, and it's going to go. It's going to disappear. I'm just more pointing out the fact that maybe you might have to do that too if you also buy these pedals. Just take note of that. Currently, there's no grease on them as far as I can see. But as I stated earlier, these are still in development a little bit, and there may be some improvements coming on these. And by the time you watch this video, maybe if it's 3 months, 6 months down the track, that already might be fixed. But I will update you on little things that do get fixed as far as I'm aware anyway. But anyway, let's jump into a race and we'll see how it goes. Alright. Let's see if I can take off. Not ideal. Gotta get used to that clutch.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Oh yeah, I'm not stopping in time for that first corner. Just not used to that brake pedal and the amount of travel. Yeah. Yeah, messing up all the braking. Let me fix something. Okay. I just calibrated the brake a little differently. Let's see if that helps me. That's normally where I brake. It was a little better than last time. Just about getting that braking right. Normally I don't brake too much there, it's just a quick dab. But just didn't, I don't know, felt like I had to hold the brake a bit longer. It's all just getting used to a new pedal. But not focusing on the brake so much for a second. What I was showing you on the table before, as we slide, do a bit of a drift around this corner, the accelerator is feeling a little notchy. Just, obviously I will get better at it. There you go, there's a second. And that'll continue to decrease as I get used to these pedals and the elastomers. There's half a second. Yeah, particularly in those corners where I'm not jumping on the throttle, like here for instance, I feel really uncomfortable with the brake. With turn 1 for instance, and actually this turn coming up here, where I'm just jumping on the throttle, the brake full and coming off, it feels okay. The ones I have to modulate a little bit, I just don't exactly, like initially here, I just don't know how much of the brake pedal I have down exactly. I have to keep looking at the screen to see how much brake I'm actually using, because it's just not correlating with my head so much with how much I'm pushing the pedal. Did I finish what I was saying before about the throttle? I don't know. The throttle is continuously feeling a little jagged. It's not as linear as I'm putting it down. And coming off it as well, actually. Yeah, there's a bit to get used to here. I definitely won't be setting any personal bests with this setup for a little while. I'm still like easily a second off what I could be doing. Yeah, so coming out of that corner there, as I gain half a second,
the fastest step so far.
I don't know if you could see my accelerator and how much I had down there, but the way it came on was probably not linear. I could feel it under my feet, but it was just kind of jagged as I put it down, because the throttle, you have to be a little bit careful coming out of that corner, otherwise you just start spinning the wheels and the back end starts coming around. But anyway, I'm not going to go too much into this. There's more time there. For me personally, I'm having that issue with...
Alright mate, 5 minutes to go. Keep pushing.
I'm pushing hard. Can't you see? This is as fast as I can go around. It's kind of pushing. I think I have to get used to this brake a bit. It's not what I'm used to. It's not as linear input as what I'm used to. So it's something I have to practice a little bit more and more and more. I'm not going to do my review on these just yet, obviously. I only just got them. I need a lot more time with these to probably do a proper review on them, as well as simrigs.com. They're advancing these a bit more. They've got some stuff going on with them. I believe they're redoing a few things with them here and there to make them better. Derek from simrigs.com did say he was going to update me with that stuff, and then I can update you guys. So if you guys are considering these pedals, please subscribe, hit the little bell icon. That way you'll be notified of all the next videos that I do, and if any of these videos come up on these particular pedals, you will be notified. But that's my first impressions. That's my unboxing video. Thanks for watching this video, everybody. Hit that like button if you liked it, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next video.